Plaintiff Jack Atkinson says his daughter used to date the defendant, and they have a child together. Jack says while the defendant was with his daughter, Jack bent over backwards to help him out financially. And he not only bailed the defendant out of jail, but also loaned him money on several occasions. But he has yet to be repaid. Defendant Eddie Nally believes he's only here today because he broke up with Jack's daughter after she cheated on him. Eddie admits that Jack loaned him money, but insists the loans were made to both him and Jack's daughter, and therefore they should both be held responsible.
Proceed.
Your Honor, I met the defendant because he was dating my daughter, and now they also have a child together. When I first met Eddie in 2007, he seemed like a real nice guy. Since then, in 2009, they have since broke up. While he was with my daughter, I felt like I was bending over backwards to help him out financially.
Was he working?
Yes, to my knowledge.
Okay, why did you have to do all that, miss?
Well, at the time, the loan, in 2008, in June, he was arrested for not appearing in a child support case. Mm-hmm. Okay. And they were in a lease agreement, my daughter and himself, and I was able to help him out financially at the time. Okay. So I took it upon myself to loan him the money. Okay,
how much did you loan him?
The bail money was $1,060.
Okay. When was he to repay?
As soon as possible was the agreement. When I bailed him out at the jail, we went out to the parking lot. I stated to him that I expect you and want you to pay me back as well as to go to church.
And he agreed?
Yes, he did.
And he agreed to go to church as well?
Yes, he did.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
He went?
Well, between July and December, I can count on one hand how many times he went. Okay. To my knowledge.
Let me hear from you.
Your Honor, the only reason why we're here, I believe, is because I broke up with his stepdaughter.
How long ago was that?
Probably the 7th or 8th of January, somewhere around in there. And now we're going through custody issues. Despite what he believes.
What year were the loans?
June of 2008 was for the cash bond. Mm-hmm. And despite what he believes, I broke up with his daughter because I suspected she was cheating on me, which later I found out to be true because of text messages. And when I confronted her about it, she lied to my face.
Does he know that?
Probably not. He believes everything she says. But a few weeks went by and she wanted to get back. And I told her I didn't want to get back together. And then she decided to go get a restraining order on me because she was mad about the whole situation. And
That's not true.
And she kept my son away from me. Well,
what's the status now with your son?
I haven't seen my son since April 3rd.
Why?
Because she won't allow me to.
What does she say when you try?
Well, I have no way of getting a hold of her. The only contact I have is through him, and I'm confident that he does give her the messages. It's just on her to call me, which she
Sir,
sometimes
you want to comment on this before we get to the other loans?
In regards to the breaking up, that is irrelevant to this case. These contractual agreements that we had was one for the bail bond money that he promised to pay back. I also had a van, 2001 Ford van that I sold him for $1,000, and there's a tow bill that he got in an accident. And then in January, I also loaned him another $1,200, and this was in good faith because they were still together. Mm-hmm. And in that $1,200, he also agreed to pay me back with his income tax refunds, which he has not.
And so obviously your answer is no when I ask whether you want to respond to the allegation that you're withholding visitation of
That is not true. We are not withholding.
Let me hear from you.
The money didn't just benefit myself, it benefited the both of us. We were both working. My checks were going into her bank account, paying whatever bills, whether it be, for groceries, rent, her car payment, gas for both of our vehicles.
Sir, did they both agree to pay and split?
No, that had nothing to do with their contractual agreements. Were strictly with Eddie and
Verbal
myself.
or you have a written one?
I have written.
Let's see it.
This is the bail bond. And this is the tow bill.
This is $1,000 for not coming to church.
I went to church.
You went?
Yeah, the only times we did it.
Well, let's set that one aside. Say he went to church. Where does he say he will repay, sir?
The written agreement is the other one that's done and contracted up, combined with the
Read
van
the written
payment.
agreement where he says he's going to pay you and the amount he agrees to pay.
He bought the 2000 Ford One E50 van for $1,000, agreeing to pay back $200. And then also in here states the bond money that is owed back from June 24th of 2008, plus the $93.50 tow bill from December 23rd. Once paid back, I will continue the monthly payments. In other words, the first part of the agreement was to pay me the bond monies first, and the latter half of the total amount due would go towards the van.
And that's on the cover sheet that you have there.
And then
Let me
it's a
see that one.
signature
Sir,
by
what do you
each
say?
payment that he was gonna
Your
pay.
Honor, first of all, I never agreed to repay him when he bailed me out of jail. I never asked for him to bail me out of jail. I don't know who asked him to. I assume it was his stepdaughter, which I did appreciate it very much.
He provides me with a signature saying that you
Well,
agreed to pay.
this was also well after that, and the reason why I signed this, I signed it under duress, I feel, because he came
That's
into my
not
place
true.
of work. He came into my place of work where I've been at not even a month,
And did what?
and I worked at a restaurant. I was a manager in training. I was still kind of new there, and we were busy at the time, and he pretty much made it clear he wasn't leaving
How?
until
What did he
That's
do?
not true.
he hinted this to me, and I read through it, and I told him, I said, Jack, I don't agree with all this. The bond money I never agreed to. You said just as
That is
long as
not
we went
true.
to church as a family, then that
Okay,
was
and
good
then
enough
what?
for him. He didn't like that. He wanted his money, and I didn't want to cause a scene. I was still new here where I was working. I was still in training to become a
Sir,
manager.
did you go to his job?
I went to his job
Why?
to let him know, because I could not get a hold of him. I went to his job to let him know I needed some information out of the van. I had the agreement drafted up. We did not sign it at his work.
You didn't?
No.
Where
Where'd you
sign
sign it?
I don't remember
Where did
where
you
I
sign
signed it.
we signed it
I
at my
made
job.
him
I remember
read.
clearly.
I made
it was at
him
my
read
job.
and understand the contractual agreement, because it states in there if you don't pay the first of the month, there's a 10% penalty. He said, "I understand that.
How
I
much do
agree."
you believe you owe?
1,700.
1,700?
Yes, sir.
Sir, that's all you're going to get today. That was duress. You don't go into anybody's job and present
I
them
asked
with an
him first
agreement.
if I
No,
could go
sir.
to that.
No, don't believe that. Man ain't going to let you come up to his job. He's just in training, starting a new job, and have to deal with you about something you owe, and you forcing him, pushing something in his face for him
I
to
did not
sign.
push. I
And if
asked.
not, you don't come up to someone's job with that, sir. 1,700 is your
you.
judgment based on what he admits to owe.